Jenna is our main presenter tonight. Jenna currently works as a training specialist and has worked at S&B for 6 years. Before joining the training team, she was a teller at the McGregor Street branch. And Jenna has a degree in business and marketing education at Southern New Hampshire University. And on the chat and Q&A panel, we have Amy Morin. Amy is our training and development supervisor and has worked at St. Mary's Bank now for 10 years. Amy's had experience in all of the retail roles, but she was previously a member of the contact center. She was a contact center rep, an SSR, and a teller. And Amy's been in the banking industry for 15 years, has degrees in education and adult training. So we are in good hands tonight. We do have a small group, so please, feel free to ask those questions as we go. Jenna does have a guided presentation that will probably take us 25, 30 minutes or so plenty of time for questions afterwards or throughout. And with that, I'll hand it over, Jenna. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ian. Welcome everybody to the Advanced Online Banking class. As Ian had mentioned, this is for people who are probably already enrolled in online banking, have been using it for their basic check your balance, maybe make a transfer, and you know that there's some additional features on there that you are really interested in checking out, but maybe kind of hesitant. So that first course that we have, which is the Introduction to Online Banking, you can actually find on our St. Mary's Bank website. So if you just go to the Bank tab and then go to Online Banking, here's our first pre-recorded demo that walks you through enrollment, customization, setting up alerts, all of those brand new to online banking features that you would need to get comfortable with before doing this advanced lesson. So what are we going to cover tonight? So we will be doing a demonstration of our online banking portal using a test member that we create for such an occasion. I'll show you how to send and manage your bill payments, link in external accounts, maybe other financial institutions, investments, anything that you could pull in, a credit card, so that you can view all of your financial pulse at one easy view. I also will show you a little bit of navigation on our mortgages. Those live on a separate server than our current online banking, so it can be a little more cumbersome for people to get comfortable with that. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to show you all of the features available in the mortgage banking. Lastly, I have some great screenshots and some points and tips and tricks for our mobile banking application. And then we'll wrap it up with any questions that have come in through the Q&A, and then I will answer them, and we'll make sure that we can get that answer out to you in a timely fashion. So what I'm going to do now is log into our online banking test portal. And for this, we do use created members so that way we can display the information without compromising anything. Now, I had previously logged in, which is why it defaulted to my accounts page and not the dashboard. But for most of you, when you log into your online banking, you would be dropped right into your dashboard. And this is covered in great detail on our first online banking demo. But just to summarize, you can see your current and available balances for all of the shares that you are a signer or authorized on. You do have the option to, let's say this was your super secret savings account that you didn't want to look at because you knew if you saw you had it, you'd spend it. You can actually go into your settings and hide this from your view so that way you aren't tempted to maybe make a transfer out of the savings and buy that new pair of shoes. Here's what a mortgage looks like when it displays in our online banking. And again, at the end of this session, I will go through what happens when you view the mortgage tab and spend a little bit more time on that. Here we have some summary of what has happened in the last 15 days or what's scheduled to happen in the next 30 days for your online banking. So here you can see that I've recently done a transfer. I've logged in 12 times, very aggressively checking my fake online banking profile, and that I've added 5 new payees to my bill pay. Here we can see that I have 3 scheduled bill payments that are going to be mailed out on these particular days, so that way you can easily see what's going to be debiting from your account. Budget Tracker is covered in our first online banking seminar, and this can be a great tool for you to use if you haven't already to set up savings goals and make sure that you are watching where your money is going and what you're spending it on. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you about is one of my favorite features of our online banking, and it's this right here, our link external accounts. And what this does is it allows you to take a snapshot and look at funds and investments or bills that you have at other financial institutions so that they will all display on your online banking. Now, because this is a test member, of course, I can't fully link in external accounts, but I did want to go through the process with you so that you guys can feel confident doing this on your own. So step 1, we're going to click right on Get Started. So there are some popular sites that come up for me here to select from. So if I was linking in my Chase credit card, I could just select that, or maybe my Bank of America account. Otherwise, you can search for the institution you're looking for. Let's give some love to our buddies at Granite State Credit Union. So if we select Granite State Credit Union, it knows the website that it's going to be linking up to, and all you're doing is putting in your user ID and your password for that banking site. Now, obviously, it's not going to be that simple. There are going to be multiple confirmation steps where you'll have to get a secure code or answer your security questions to ensure that this truly is your request to view these accounts. You also may receive a request from your other financial institution, like Granite State Credit Union in this example, asking if you authorized for this view into the account. But it's really just as simple as that. Once you have your confirmation, then it will display at the bottom of your dashboard. I personally have pulled in my credit cards on mine so that way I can see what my current credit card balance is so that I'm budgeting and planning for that. It also helps me keep tabs on my spending. You know, nothing like seeing all those Amazon purchases coming up in your quick view while you're going to check your bank account balance. Some troubleshooting for linking in external accounts. If you have done this previously and maybe you're getting like an exclamation point next to your account that you linked in, it may be that the connection has been lost to that financial institution. So all you would have to do is click on it and remove them from your external accounts and just reestablish it and reestablish the connection. If you have any other questions about linking external accounts, please feel free to put those into the questions and answers, and we'll be sure to answer those for you. Now, as I mentioned, this is just for those snapshot views into the other financial institutions or your current balances on a credit card or maybe an investment. If you're looking to bring in an external account to transfer from or to, you would want to navigate over to our Transfers widget and then go to our Classic tab and follow the steps here to add an external account. So what happens when you add an external account is that a series of micro deposits will be scheduled and confirmed between the two financial institutions. And once you have those confirmed, then it will link in and you'll be able to successfully transfer between your financial accounts at different financial institutions. So again, you're just selecting what product type you're trying to link in, the routing number for that financial institution, confirm your account number, and then you can give it a great nickname like your GSCU for Granite State Credit Union, whatever other account you're trying to tie in. And once you put all that information in and hit save, you'll verify your private information either through your security questions or perhaps receive a text or an email confirmation so that they can initiate those micro deposits. Another great feature under the Classic tab that I use quite frequently because most of my friends have St. Mary's Bank is that you can do a transfer to another St. Mary's Bank member. So for those of you who are using peer-to-peer, person-to-person quick pay, once you link in your best friend to your mobile banking, then you can easily, go out to dinner and transfer them $20 for covering dinner. So the only information that you need for this is the first and last name of the member, their member number, and the share ID that you want to deposit into. And again, what happens with this is there is a series of confirmations. The person that you are looking to establish this deposit to also gets confirmation questions to ensure that those added levels of security are taken. This is where you can make a payment to a loan, or you can do transfers with a memo. Anything like that can be done in the Classic tab of transfers. So if you're looking for moving money between external accounts, this is where you would want to be as opposed to that link external accounts on our dashboard. Okay, so snapshot here, transfer between external accounts there. And if you have any questions about transfers, please feel free to submit those in the Q&A panel now. The next thing I'm going to show you guys is bill pay. So bill pay is a great, easy, and convenient way for you to track all of your bills and expenses. You can put in your scheduled payments that you have to go out. You can pay all your bills in one fell swoop, and you can see what's scheduled out for the rest of the month. This is a really great way to save on getting to the post office, writing checks. It even allows you, if you have the information, to make some electronic transfers and payments to other people. So this is where we're going to dive in a little bit more about bill pay. Now, as you can see, our test member has enrolled in bill pay. They've scheduled some, they've added payees. The first time that you click on bill pay, you will get a terms and conditions that you must read and agree to prior to establishing your bill pay. So if you guys are following along at home and maybe on another screen and you see a different one, that should be where you are starting. So once you agree to the terms and conditions, you're going to want to add in a payee. So this is where you're going to put in who we are, as St. Mary's Bank, going to be paying on your behalf. So let's say you want us to mail a check to Comcast for your Comcast bill. We can do that. All you would do is select business, hit next, type in the name of the business, and it does appear that Comcast comes up as a pre-populated selection for me, probably because I think it's called Xfinity now. You can just leave it however you want it to be addressed, though. You're going to select the share that you would like to debit the funds from, and you're going to put in your Comcast account number here. Again, confirm that account number because this is what's going to be referenced on the payment that we send so that it gets properly credited to your account. Once you have that information in there, you're going to hit the Next tab. And this is where you can put in all of that information about where we're sending it. So I'm going to use our address here at the St. Mary's Bank Training and Operations Center. And a phone number is required for this step. I know that comes up as a frequent question when people are having trouble establishing a payee, or maybe they make an update to a phone number for a payee, that they have difficulty getting their bill payments to go out. So that is an important required step here. And maybe it's a 1-800 number on your bill that you can reference here. And then the nickname field is how it's going to display in your payees. So maybe I want to call this phone bill. And then I'm going to select Add Payee. And do my verification steps. As you may be able to tell from your own experience navigating around our online banking portal, that security is a top priority for us. We want to make sure that the things that you initiate in your online banking in today's digital world, where things can come in and out so fast, are truly done by you and authorized. So after you confirm all of that information, you then will have them added as a payee here. Now, if you'd like to make a payment to a payee, you can just select them from here. If you're sitting down to maybe send out your monthly bills, you can actually go to multi-pay and select multiple payees at once. And then you can just put in the amounts that you have to pay and submit your bill payments all in one. So let's say I'm going to have a nice small business payment, pay my friend quite a bit of money. I don't really want to pay my Target Visa credit card, but I will. So it's totaling how many payees and what the total amount is. And then you would submit payment. And assuming that your delivery date has been confirmed as a valid one, and if you click on this calendar icon, you can select a different or future delivery date. And then you would be able to submit your payment so that your bill pays are scheduled, just as I've done here previously. The Scheduled tab has a great future calendar option and past. So if you have been doing lots of bill pays, you can go in and make sure that you haven't overpromised funds that you don't have to send out. Now, because I just scheduled these bill payments tonight and they are in a scheduled status, I do actually have the option to do some editing or cancel this bill pay. So I click on the edit icon, and maybe I accidentally wrote $10 and this was supposed to be a $100 payment. So then I can just change my payment amount and hit save. Or maybe I want to change it to a different date because my card's not actually due on the 6th, it's due on the 5th. Then if that's a valid date, I'm going to pull up the calendar icon and select the date that I want it to go on. And from this detailed icon, you can actually cancel the payment as well. And remember, I can do this because it's just in a scheduled status. It hasn't been confirmed. So then I'm going to hit yes to cancel. And now that's no longer a scheduled bill payment for me. If we go back to our dashboard, we'll see that we're now just down to 2 scheduled payments. Your history is going to have any of your scheduled, canceled, or paid payments. Because this is a test member and we can't really make payments from their account, I don't have any that have been processed. But if you've used bill pay in the past, then that history tab should display all of those previous bill pays that you've sent. So the last thing I wanted to cover in bill pay is, let's say you want to not send a check. you want to direct deposit to somebody's bank account, or maybe you want to make your car payment at another financial institution, then what you can do is actually select person and next. And you're going to put in who you're paying. So I'm going to use the example of my sister. And then from the payment method dropdown, you can actually select different ways that you would like to send the payment. So SMS is using a text message to send secured payment through our online channels. And this has the person that you send the funds to confirm, and you put together a shared password so that that way they are able to access the funds and you can transfer it easily like you would with a Venmo or Zelle or PayPal payment. You can also do an electronic payment. So that's actually what I'm going to show you now. Again, we have to select our funding account, where this money is going to be coming from, and hit next. So here is where you would need your sister, in my examples, routing number and account number for the receiving financial institution that it's going to. And of course, after I put that information in, I can put her name in there and add her as a payee. And because it has that routing and account number, and we actually do have a great feature where if you put an invalid routing number, it won't come up. So let's say I botched this and I put in an 8. I happen to be picking all valid account numbers. So then you can see where the financial institution, so I don't have the Bank of America one on me, but let's say we put in Bank of America routing number, it would say Bank of America here, and then you can put in and confirm the account number. So that is our dive into the bill pay system. Again, if you have any specific questions about bill pay, please feel free to submit those through the question and answer, or if you're listening to this in its recorded state, contact our member contact center or visit one of our branches so that we can help you get comfortable navigating this in our online channel. So the last thing that I wanted to show you is the mortgages and how those display.
Jenna, before you go into mortgages, can you just talk a little bit about the difference between external transfers and linking your external accounts?
Sure. So if you are looking to transfer money between another financial institution and St. Mary's, like maybe your spouse's payroll is direct deposited into another financial institution and you want to move it over into your account here, you would establish that through the Transfers tab. So you would go to Transfers, click Classic, and add an external account. And here is where you can put in all the information on that other financial institution. Now, of course, you would have this information because this is an account that you are on and established. And then you would get some verification steps and a series of micro deposits. And micro deposits could be anywhere from 8 to 72 cents, really kind of generated amounts, so that once you verify that those have been debited from the other financial institution, you confirm it through your online banking transfer tab, and then you will have that established connection between your account here at St. Mary's and your account at another financial institution. So that's not going to be an instantaneous process because we have to wait for the validation in those micro deposits. Now, if you just want to see how much money you have at another financial institution, or maybe you want to see what the current balance is on your credit card, but not make payments or redeem your reward points, things like that, you would use this link external account on our main dashboard page. And by doing this, we're just getting a snapshot into your credit card or your investments. Let's say you pull in your Fidelity IRA investments, whatever it may be, just to see the transaction history and any payments that you have made, track your spending, all in one place so that you can start using that budgeting tool to see where your money is going. Hopefully that answered the members' questions. So I'm going to move on to the mortgage tab. So here where we have the mortgage is that it's listed as an FICS loan, and that's the name of our server that the mortgage directs out to. So what I recommend for all members to do so that it's not confusing for them is to go right to that mortgage tab and change the name to your mortgage. Spell mortgage correctly, of course. So that way you know exactly what you're going to. And you'll see that there's this link here to go to our mortgage website. You can get some basic account details from here, like the current balance, the due date, how your payment is calculated, and your escrow balance. But if you want to see more, then you actually have to click on this View Transactions tab. And this is where I'm actually going to pop over to a video that I made because in our test environment, we have some limitations getting between systems. And I'm just going to quickly go through the mortgage tab. So you get brought to this landing page where it displays your loan number and the primary member's information. You can click on payment information and get all of the property details and maturity of your mortgage. The loan balances tab helps you update yourself on what your current principal balance is, what your taxes and insurance balance is, which would be your escrow account. And I'm just going to pause this and go back a little bit because I talked a little too fast for that. So here you can see that the principal balance remaining on the mortgage is the $239 figure, and that the current escrow account balance for taxes and insurance is $1,264. It also calculates your current year-to-date totals. The accounts notes feature we don't currently use, but it does have the functionality that if we can't get in touch with you, how we would communicate with you. But since all of the mortgages that we have are through our members, we have multiple venues of communication, so we don't actually use that accounts note tab, so you don't have to worry about checking that or looking for any updates in there. Next, we have the Payment History tab. You can click on a payment to expand it and see exactly where the funds were dispersed on the account. Here we can see that of the payment that was made, $485 went to the principal of the mortgage, $700 went to interest, and $558 went to the taxes and insurance, making your total balance go up of your escrow account. Here we have an example of a debited payment. So the $1,744 is a payment that was made towards your mortgage. Here's a payment that your mortgage paid. So for example, we have the Manchester City tax collector. So if this member's taxes are escrowed, then St. Mary's Bank is going to pay that tax bill twice a year. So here you can see exactly what was paid, when, where it went, and what the remaining escrow balance is. And checking these things periodically can help you avoid an escrow shortage at the end of the year. Payment options is how you can schedule a payment from any other financial institution than St. Mary's Bank. If you're making a payment from your St. Mary's account to your mortgage, whether that be a principal payment, an escrow payment, or a standard payment, you can do that through the Transfers tab in online banking. But let's say you pay your mortgage through another financial institution, the payment options button is what you're going to want to go to in your mortgage tab. And you can set up a recurring payment. You can make a one-time payment, and you can also view any scheduled payments that you may have coming from another financial institution. This payment gets processed as a debit, so of course you would have to approve that St. Mary's will debit the financial institution that you have the money coming from. Next, you would fill in the information for the other financial institution, your routing and account number, and we have some great sample icons that show you what a routing and account number would look like, and then how you want to make the payment. So your standard payment's going to display, but maybe you want to make an additional principal payment or an additional payment to your escrow, so you would do that here. Account information is where you can view all of the registered contact information that we have on file for you. And you would just want to contact St. Mary's Bank if you need to make any changes to this information that we have on file. You can select the Contact Us tab, or you can call our member contact center or visit any of our branches. Statements and documents is where you can view your monthly mortgage statements. So this is what maybe some of you are receiving in the mail that just breaks down what your monthly payment is and where it goes. You can also view your year-end tax forms. So for those of you who maybe get a jump start on your taxes at the beginning of January, you can actually log into your statement documents and you can grab this here once it's issued and maybe save the extra day or two waiting for it to come in the mail to you. Also, if you select Manage Paperless Statements, this will give you the option to elect to only receive your statements electronically. So here's an image of a tax form that populates that you could then print out and keep for your records. We do have a payoff request on our website. If you are one of those lucky people getting at the finish line of your mortgage, so you can submit and make sure that you get a proper figure for paying off and discharging your mortgage. And that is our mortgage tab. So that's going to conclude our online banking demo and going through the steps. What I did just want to go over with you guys real quickly before we finish up is that everything that we just did for the bill payment and linking external accounts, you can do through our mobile banking app. It has a mirrored look to the desktop version. So if you've been really comfortable navigating the desktop version of St. Mary's Bank, download the app from the Apple Store or the Google Play Store so that way you can start taking your banking with you. This allows you a bunch of great features like doing remote deposits, getting a quick snapshot of your current balances without having to log into the system. We also have an integration of biometrics, so you can use your fingerprint or facial recognition so that you aren't putting that password in every time you're logging in and checking your balances. So due to the limitations of our test environment, I can't show you the mobile site, but I did take some great screenshots here that I could show you. So when you get logged right into your dashboard for mobile banking, you would be defaulted to this main menu. And if it's the first time that you have logged in, or if you haven't confirmed it yet, you would actually even have the option to add any of your cards, your debit card or your St. Mary's Visa to your mobile wallet right here from the app. So you can scroll and see upcoming payments, current balances, and then take all the additional steps. Now, if you select the More menu at the bottom here, Some of those additional services that you can do through our mobile app is to view your e-statements. You can send messages to our member contact center. This is not a live chat feature. It is a secured message center. So maybe you request a copy of a check that was deposited, or you need statements for an audit, whatever it may be, you can send those requests through the message center. You can even apply for additional shares and loans right through your mobile banking app. And because you've already logged in and confirmed your information, you're one step closer to getting your decision. I had mentioned that you can link external accounts through mobile banking. So all you would do is scroll down to the bottom of your dashboard and select Link External Accounts to manage your finances all in one place. And then you're going to get the same exact Link Accounts tab that we showed you on the desktop version, which is putting in your login information for that other financial institution. So again, a mirrored look and feel to our desktop site. One of the best features to me of downloading our mobile banking app is to deposit a check remotely, save time and convenience, and deposit your checks from home. So when you first click on deposit check, you will have to agree to the terms and conditions of using remote deposit. There is also a list of unacceptable items that I definitely recommend you take a look at, because there are certain things that we can't verify remotely that we would need you to deposit in person. So once you do that, you're going to make sure you write on the back of your check for remote deposit only when you endorse it. And then you can select the share that you want to deposit it into, and then the amount that the check is for. And you'll want to make sure that you allow camera access so that you can take an image of the check front and the check back and then deposit the item. Quick, easy, do it from the comfort of your own home at any time of day. So now I'm going to have Amy and Ian just double check our questions and answer section to see if there's anything else that I can show you before we finish up on our webinar. Last chance to put in any of those requests.
Oh, sorry, Jenna. I was chatting away, but I was on mute still. But we did have a question that we haven't gotten to in the Q&A section from Catherine. How long does it take the bill pay to populate a check?
So the bill pay does have limitations if it is sending a check through the mail, that we do request about a 7-day window for it to be issued, which is why it's really important for you to look at that calendar icon, because the system will calculate when the first available date is for it to be paid. So if you're looking to log in the day before your bill is due and send a check, that's not going to be an option for you. If you were doing an electronic payment, then that would be.
Nice. Thank you so much. Well, at this time, we'll hold on for just another moment. Are there any other questions that we haven't addressed yet? Don't see any coming through, Jenna, so I think we will draw things to a close.
Wonderful. Thank you all for joining me, and please make sure that you reach out with any additional questions. Call into our member contact center, send a message through your new and practicing mobile banking maybe, or visit us at any of our branches.
Thank you everyone for joining us. We will have a copy of the recording available on stmarysbank.com, I believe /access/online banking. We'll make it easy for you to find that. But as I was saying good night there, I think we've had a question come in from Doris. how long does it take to get an electronic payment from another bank to St. Mary's Bank?
So assuming that you're receiving a scheduled one, like maybe a direct deposit or an ACH payment, St. Mary's Bank will post that payment as soon as it's received. So for example, we do offer early direct deposit for payroll. So once we receive the file for your payroll, we will post it to your account. If it's transferring between financial institutions, it can take about 2 to 5 days, depending on the security and confirmation that you have to do at the other financial institution.
And one more moment, Jenna. I think we have a question that we overlooked, so sorry about that. And let's see if we can track it down. Kate, I'm scrolling through the questions, and I'm not seeing your question at this time. If you wouldn't mind putting it back in the panel and sending it to all, I would be happy to answer whatever questions you may have. Oh, and I see the question now, and I think Amy's gotten to the answer there, but the question was how to pay extra principal on mortgage through Mortgage tab or Bill Pay.
Wonderful. And I think we covered that through your transfers tab, if it's coming from a St. Mary's account, or through the mortgage tab by making that one-time payment that way.
Great. Well, thank you again, Janet. Thank you, Amy. And thank you so much to our members who joined us this evening. We hope to run some more of these webinars, perhaps not going much deeper into the online banking, but we'll come up with some new topics, and we will share those via our member connections, email, and on the website. So again, thank you so much for joining us